even growing up in these white environments, the #1 compliment I received is that I was pretty for a Black girl. And that, to this day, sticks with me.
That is triggering to me every
I
time
know.
I hear
I'm like
something
getting
that.
choked up. I'm like, because it's that I grew up like 6th grade until I'm 25. And I still think that. I'm like, sometimes, like, damn, pretty for a Black girl. Like, you have 30-year-old men saying that shit to you, like, now. It's crazy.
Imagine hearing it as a chocolate woman. But
Yeah.
No, and
Like,
it's
they
like
say
for a
pretty for a
dark-skinned girl,
dark-skinned girl.
right?
I hate that.
Today on The Bridge, light-skinned and dark-skinned Black women come together to have an honest conversation about colorism, identity, and sisterhood. Different shades, shared experience. I'm your host, Dr. Michelle Daff. Welcome to The Bridge. Hi, ladies. Thank you for all being here today. We don't get the opportunity to have these kind of conversations in real life, so this is beautiful to have us all here together to talk about such an important and sensitive topic.
Hi guys, my name is Royal Carter, and I'm just a fun girl from the South.
Hi guys, my name is Lindsay Dal Silvera.
Hi, you guys. My name's Kiara, or Kiki. It's easier to remember that way.
Hi, my name is Isabel.
I'm Cambria.
Hi, I'm Zaja James. I'm a model and I'm the island girl.
Hi, my name is Dora.
Hi, my name is Jessica, and I'm a model as well.
Hi, guys. My name is Dianisha, and I'm a singer-songwriter.
Hey everyone, I'm Janae, entrepreneur, singer, model.
Thank you, ladies. Y'all look so beautiful. All these models in here. Okay. And the first prompt is, I've wished my skin tone was different at some point in my life. Okay. Anyone can discuss how they feel about this.
Well, when I was younger, I'm originally from Jamaica, so when I came to the States, I didn't notice how dark I was until I came here, and I'm like, oh my God, I want to be lighter. Like, I used to do things like scrub my skin extra hard and do all this extra things because everyone was just so much lighter than me, and they made it known that I was like dark, and it was always an ugly thing. It was always deemed ugly or dirty. So yeah.
Were these like family members or friends?
It started in school, then it got home, and my family started like taking part, like, oh my God, you're so dark, you're this, because my family's lighter, everyone's lighter. My dad's side is the only dark side, so yeah.
Yeah, same. I feel like when I was younger, I would be bullied for being the darkest person in the class, the darkest person in the school. And so I also tried to like scrub my skin with like lemon or something to lighten it a little bit just so that I wouldn't be bullied so much. Like, it's not fair. I can't change the way that I look. I can't change my skin tone, but I was treated differently because of it, so.
And you're a model now. Look at
And
that.
I'm a model now. There we go.
Anyone on this side?
I would say for myself that I'm the lightest in my family, so it's the opposite experience. My family is West African. My mom is from Ghana. My dad is Nigerian and German, but he was born and raised in Lagos, so typical West African family. And everyone would always make comments on, oh, you're so light, oh, you look so different. Are these your brothers, really? So I think I always felt left out in a sense of I don't look like my family members, so it made me very aware at a young age.
How does your family talk with you about that? Do they ever like empower you or say anything to make you feel worse or better about your skin?
I have all brothers, so nothing is ever too serious. My mom would just be like, people are bleaching their skin and you're here complaining, like, it's okay. People are just making comments. I also lived in Nigeria, so every other person is like gonna, make a comment on my complexion. But I think my family just reassured me to not think too deeply into it and just also highlighted that people make comments out of ignorance and they don't know the depth of what they're saying.
I would add that in my personal experience, because my mom's white, my dad's Black, so when it came to hanging out with the Black side of my family, they would always comment on me being light-skinned, but in a negative way, and especially towards my mom being white as well. And then on the white side of my family, they always wanted to remind me, remember you're white. Like my grandma on the white side of my family, love her very much. However, she would say things like, I love your tan. And I would tell her, Grandma, I'm Black. She's like, yeah, but remember you're white too. And so that's also just something I grappled with because my mom is the only person, how do I word that? The only interracial couple in my family was my mother and my father. So me, my brothers, we were the first 3 and the only 3. So that's just a weird family dynamic for me.
So what kind of things like was your family saying about your complexion?
So on the white side of my family, they are pretty conservative. They are Republican. How do I word this without sounding horrible? They accept me for who I am because I'm here, because I'm in the family. I don't know if they necessarily would just accept anyone who's Black, honestly. Yeah.
I'd like to add, I'm Black and Filipino. My dad's Black, my mom's Filipino. I grew up with my Filipino side more so. My Filipino grandma still, till this day, lives with my parents. And growing up, I was either, when I'd hang out with my Filipino side, I was too dark. And then when I'd go back home to Georgia, my Black side, I was too light. And it was to the point where my grandma, love her very much, absolutely love her. But she would literally go and like buy me whitening soap from the like the Asian stores. They have whitening soaps there. And she'd be like, oh, you're getting a little, she wouldn't say dark, but she would say, you're getting tanner. Try this, you'll be prettier, is what she told me. She's like, if you go back to the Philippines, you'd be prettier if you're just a little bit lighter. So like 7, 8 years old, I'm in the bathroom like using a whitening soap so I could be more accepted. But it was really confusing and hard identifying growing up because I am literally half Black, half Filipino. But I felt like I couldn't be too Black with my Filipino side. Or it would be comments like, your hair's different. Or if I was Black with my Black side, my hair was also too different for being around them too. So it's very interesting growing up.
Wow, that's severe. Who here feels like they've been labeled by their skin tone? Yeah. Not really, a little bit. Is there anything that's ever made you feel less than by a woman or girl of the other skin tone, specifically because of your skin tone? Has there ever been something that's happened, maybe with somebody who was dark skinned, somebody who was light? I know it happened in your family, but like, let's say it was someone outside of your family.
Yeah, I had a friend who could not believe that a man liked me over her, literally because she was like, I'm light skinned, like, this doesn't make sense. And I was like, are we friends? Like, do you not see who you're literally talking to? So that was pretty awakening for me to see, like, wow, this is how you feel. This is how you walk through life, believing that because you're light skinned, you should be superior to me or any other woman that's deeper than you. So,
Have you ever felt that you were less superior, ladies, to ladies who are dark skinned, like internally yourself? Like you're saying your friend pointed it out, but have any of you ever felt like you yourself felt like, oh, this guy actually likes me and I'm dark?
Yes.
Yes.
No, definitely,
Yes.
yes.
A few times.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And so when that happens in the relationship that you're having, do you feel a sense of insecurity because of your skin, or does that kind of like fade out?
It fades.
It fades over
It
time when you
fades.
see it's genuine
Yeah.
and real. Yeah.
yeah. I think that there's people that I've seen that I was like, oh, I didn't expect you to like dark-skinned women, but hey, okay, let's
And then there's people
see
that
what it's
date you
about.
because you're dark. It's a fad, so it's kind of like an obsession, and that just.
How do you know that? No, I don't mean tell me your story. I meant like,
I could say it.
when you're dating them, what are some signs that you would know that the man likes you because of your skin?
He talks about it, the way he like just continuously compliments your skin tone. He's like kind of like obsessing over it, you know, the way he
Or he
interacts with
don't,
you
like,
and looks
hide
at you.
Like
Yeah.
he takes you out. Actually, he don't hide you like behind the scenes and stuff like that.
It's the things that they say. My chocolate, oh, you're so delicious. It's like how they say it. It's like, oh my God, my goddess, oh my God, I just want your
Yeah.
chocolate all over. Like they say some crazy stuff.
They do.
They do. I literally
You will know,
hate-
trust me.
I hate being called chocolate. It disgusts me. I'm sorry. Because it just feels so like fetishizing. It
Yeah, it
feels
does.
not, it just
But are
doesn't
you
feel
not a
good.
chocolate drop?
Yeah, but like the way that they've like sexualized
Yeah,
it in
that's
a
true.
way, it doesn't even feel good anymore.
Nah.
Like
It does.
it's way overdone.
I have to agree with that really quickly. I would say I don't like being called chocolate either. I just rather, you just see me for me, not just because of my complexion. Like, obviously I'm chocolate. You don't think I know that? Like, I just want to be seen as myself.
Yes. And on this side, ladies, in terms of labeling, there are a lot of labels that come with being light skinned, being called a red bone, being called, I don't know what men would call you, but how do you feel about that when you're called those things? Do you feel empowered by it? Because it's usually said in a positive way.
I don't
Normally.
like it at all.
Okay.
I think it's annoying when people say things like, hey, light skin. Like, I've never been called red bone, or very recently I had one of my grandmothers call me high yellow, which I'm not. So that was interesting, but I've had men address me like, hey, light skin, literally, hey, light skin, and it's no. Yeah.
Yeah. You would think, I don't know if you would think, but I think some people would think that it's a compliment in a sense, because when you hear it in music and in entertainment, it's said as a compliment. A lot of times, you know, men are saying that they're happy to have someone who's, you know, whatever, high yellow, light skin, red bone. So it's interesting hearing from you that it's not something that even phases you.
I would say on the flip side of what the other side of the panel was saying is I think light-skinned women can also easily be very fetishized, as you just mentioned. It's fetishized in rap music, for example. But like a common compliment is like ooh, like caramel, cinnamon, like we have those same ones, and I'm like, it's the same thing. As you mentioned, actually, I would like to be prioritized, or I'm sorry, I would like someone to see me for me and not because I'm light skinned. If it's a fetish thing, it's a no-go. If you just so happen to be attracted to a certain type of black woman, that's a different story, and that's totally okay. But like you said as well, men will straight up just walk up to you and be like, what's up, light skin? Like, that is the determining factor that had them approach you. You were light skinned, and that's all they saw. And so I think that just kind of sucks.
So ladies, I've seen situations where there's a mother who has a certain complexion and then the daughter has a different complexion. And the mother is telling the daughter she's so beautiful, she's this and that. But the daughter maybe doesn't necessarily believe her because she doesn't know what that experience is like. Have you ever had that situation where maybe your mom or a parent has a different complexion than you do? How does that affect you?
Personally, for me, so my mom's black, she's dark skinned, and my dad's white. And I wouldn't say it's to the point where I didn't believe her. It's because, like, I love my mom so much. It's, I'm hearing what she's saying, and she taught me, obviously, like, because of my complexion, I have a certain privilege compared to ladies of different colors. But obviously, like, carry yourself a certain way, know what you got, and then also use that to help other girls as far as, like, if some discrimination is happening, we don't tolerate that, we don't play that. All that tone, colorism talk, it's like, this is what my mom has had to go through, so I'm gonna do what I can to fight for it. And it's just so interesting because you said you had a white mom and a black dad. And so, like, I haven't met a lot of individuals like me who have a black mom and a white dad. So it's so, like, interesting hearing their experience and how it differs, like, being raised by a black woman versus, like, being raised by a white woman. And it just, a lot of things when it comes to color doesn't really impact me. And I know, like, race affects everything, but being raised from that point of view and that background, because to me it's bigger. Like, when it comes to colorism and discrimination, it's like we're losing the plot as to who's had it worse, when it's we need to fix this overall. And that's what she instilled into me, and so that's just kind of how I carry myself day to day.
I love that she taught that to you. That's beautiful. Because sometimes you do see people kind of like standing by while someone's being made fun of. So for you to be the one to speak up,
we don't play that.
That is really important. I love that.
For me, my mom is very light and my dad is very dark. And she always told me I was beautiful, but I never believed her. It wasn't, I didn't grow into my complexion until like maybe 19, 20. And I was like, you don't get it. You don't understand. Like, you're considered beautiful. I'm the only dark one in my family, or the darker tone. But just me noticing and picking up by me being the last child as well, my lighter sisters or my lighter siblings get treated a different way. And I'm like, oh, you related? That's your brother? That's your sister? Oh, y'all don't look nothing alike. Or, you know, so I didn't appreciate what she said until now.
What did it take for you to get to, because I can relate to that in my family too. My mom is more fair, my sister is more dark, and my mom would always, your skin is you're so beautiful, and she's just like, please, you're just saying, like, you don't even get it. Like, what are you talking about? What did it take for you to get to that point where you believed it on your own?
Self-discovery. I got tired of waiting for others to feel validated or feel worthy of something, or like, what am I looking for in somebody else that I can't find in myself? And just appreciating what I have, because I can't get, I mean, of course you can get other things, but like just being appreciated with like what you have now, what is God given, and taking care of what you have. If you don't take care of what you have, then it's not going to be or look as, as you would want. As kids, you have acne, all that stuff, so it's like you're dealing with a lot hormonally, but like when you actually care for yourself and like just take time with loving your inner self, then you're like, that's all you need.
Mine was totally different. My mom is lighter, and a lot of people in my family are mixed or lighter on my mom's side. And growing up, I was never told that I was pretty. Like, it's like, ugly Zadra, ugly. Like, it's like I was always considered ugly, or like nobody acknowledged me as pretty. I feel like it was like, it would choke them if they had to say the words, you're pretty, like, growing up. So it's like, it's not until now that I'm older, like college, and I got into modeling and other people started noticing me, that's when I started hearing it from my family or from my mom. I don't even think my mom really says, oh, you're pretty. Like, she'd be like, you got my looks, I guess. Like, I have her features, I guess. But I don't think, no.
Well, you're breathtakingly beautiful, so that's very interesting.
I started Doves of Dawn because a satin scarf is the best accessory you can have. I mean, I'm sure you already know they're super versatile. You can wear it out as your head, you can wear it as a top, you can wear it as a cover up if you're by the water. I use them to protect my hair at night by wrapping my pillow in a scarf as well. So I always make sure that I'm good. We have different sizes, 4 different sizes. We have minis, we have our standard size, our large size, and an extra large size. But don't let the sizes fool you, okay? Every size is for everybody. Each scarf tells a story, and the designs elevate any look. So next time you're heading out, don't forget your Doves of Dawn scarf. You're gonna need it. Follow Doves of Dawn at Doves of Dawn, or you can shop us at dovesofdawn.com.
The next prompt is, being light skin or dark skin changes how feminine people perceive you to be. Yes. Okay, anyone who feels strongly can go ahead and speak.
Yes. Yes, because I feel like as a dark-skinned woman, this is something I have to deal with daily, and I have a lot of lighter tone friends, and I notice how they're treated by society, and especially like men, and it's like they're allowed to cry, they're allowed to get angry, they're allowed to, some even crash out, like, and the second I even get angry or raise my voice, it's, oh my God, why are you acting? It's like I'm not allowed to show any type of emotion. I'm not allowed to cry out loud. I'm not allowed to do certain things. It's deemed like, it's looked down upon per se. Like, but when my friends do it, it's like, oh, she's just a girl. Oh, let me come save you. And it's like, geez, come save me too. Shit, we all need saving. Save both of us.
No, that's definitely my story. Like, my sister, I have a sister, she's really light-skinned. She has hazel eyes. Like, my siblings are way lighter than me. I'm the darkest one. So growing up, like, we would get into an argument, and my sister would literally be lying about something and saying, no, Mom, she did it. And my mom will automatically believe I did it because I come off stronger, I guess, because I'm darker. So that's been my life in school, just growing up. Like she said, you say something, you're wrong. The lighter person is always the one that gets, that I noticed, the lighter person is always right. You seem more aggressive. You had to be the aggressor. You had to, but it's like, no, they can literally be lying on you, and they will always believe, I feel like, a lighter skin tone, no matter if, like, even for them, the higher it goes up, even like for white people, I feel like for their situation, they will believe a white person over them. So it's like, it's not even about light skin versus dark skin. It's like, the higher you go up in the skin tone, the more believable it is to me. That's what I see.
And then it's like your pain is not taken seriously.
Yeah.
Like you can suffer a little more. You could take on a
You're
little,
fine.
put a little, you know.
Like physical pain or like just pain
physical,
from like
mental,
both.
emotional.
Yeah.
You're built strong. You know, I've heard that a lot.
Yeah, it feels like dark-skinned women and men are seen more masculine, you know, and whereas light-skinned people are seen as more feminine. Even like a light-skinned man, they're like, oh, you're soft, you know what I mean? It's just, that's how we're seen, and it's really unfortunate. It feels
Especially in
like we
dating
can't be-
too. Like a lot of men will just look at all of us and be like, she probably got an attitude problem. She's just like probably too much for me.
Or
You don't even know
smile.
anything about
Smile
me.
more.
Like I could be the softest
She
person.
loud.
Yes, definitely that one. Like it's just a lot of just looking at us and just saying, no, she's just the wrong one. And I'm like completely opposite of what you're thinking.
Yeah. What about you ladies? All of you said yes.
I agree, yeah. I hear people say things like that in real life. Like some of people that I used to be friends with say things like, oh, like she seems like she's gonna be too much before they even get to know her. And I agree with light-skinned men also being seen as soft. I've seen people be bullied for that as well. And I think it does go across dating, it goes in healthcare, it goes in your day-to-day experiences about how people approach you. And I do agree that the closer in proximity you are to whiteness, the more people just take you seriously. Like we've all heard the narrative of Black women are just so strong, like we have to be so strong. And I think it's just way worse for darker skinned women. Like to hear that story about you not being believed by your mom, like that is terrible, but it happens, and it happens all the time.
Interestingly, for me being light skinned, but I grew up more so on the white side of my family, and I went to predominantly white private schools as well. So middle school, high school, and even college. And so touching base on a few notes that you guys said before, I honestly didn't grow into myself and my Blackness probably until this year. Like I had like a vitamin D deficiency in middle school because I was one of like 8 Black kids, 6th through 12th grade. So I know it's crazy to hear, but it's like I was considered dark. I was the dark one. And it wasn't until I went to college and I actually had my first friend of, or my first friend group of Black girls. I was like, and we're all different colors. That's when I kind of grew into myself. I tried to just put away my Blackness because my mom never really brought up race. She always told me I was beautiful. She never really was like, oh, because you're light skinned or because this. She just always said I was beautiful. So it wasn't that. It was other people in society at school in these predominantly white environments that had something to say.
Now, do you think that this is an issue like, with dating, with men? Do you think that men, Black men specifically, prefer women who are light-skinned or dark-skinned?
Light-skinned.
Living
Light
in
skin.
LA alone.
I was like, LA especially, LA is known for that.
That's gonna cover it all. LA
Yeah.
is a
LA
completely.
for sure.
Oh God.
Like it's bad out here.
Very
I think
bad.
it's the worst I've ever seen it.
I do want to add something that's interesting for me, because so I was overweight my whole life. I was 250 pounds until 3 years ago. And so with that dating and being Black, so I was overweight and I was Black in predominantly white spaces. It wasn't until I came to Orange County, LA for college. That was the first time Black men were ever interested in me. I didn't know that light skins were considered something that somebody wanted because I grew up in white environments where just if you were Black, period, they didn't care what the skin tone was. You were Black, they didn't want you. So coming to Orange County and LA for me from San Diego, it was just completely different. And so now I do see it day by day. Black men coming up to me, just like you mentioned before, hey, light skin. So that's new for me, and I do see that priority, but it grosses me out because I'm like, what are you insinuating? Because even growing up in these white environments, the #1 compliment I received is that I was pretty for a Black girl. And that, to this day, sticks with me.
That is triggering to me every
I
time
know.
I hear
I'm like
something
getting
that.
choked up. I'm like, because it's that I grew up like 6th grade until I'm 25. And I still think that. I'm like, sometimes, like, damn, pretty for a Black girl. Like, you have 30-year-old men saying that shit to you, like, now. It's crazy.
Imagine hearing it as a chocolate woman. But
Yeah.
No, and
you're
it's
pretty
like
for a dark-skinned girl,
dark-skinned
right?
I hate that.
And it's interesting that you mentioned, that over there you were just seen as a black girl, because I do think that sometimes when it comes to other races of men, they see black in a very different way. I remember like being in high school and like a white male teacher was telling me like, "Oh, you remind me so much of, you look just like Nicki Minaj." I was like, and then one of the girls was like, "But she's not even light." And to him it was like he had no concept. If he was calling me Beyonce and all these people that I don't look like, but in her mind, she's like, how could he be calling you that when you're not even light? But for him, he didn't see that at all for whatever reason. So I do think it's interesting that when you go outside of the black community, they see black different.
Yeah.
There's not light and dark, it's just black.
And that's what I was saying earlier. Like, for them, it's not us against each other because, like, as you go up on the scale, I guess, for white and black, they can be, like, her story, they can be racially, I guess, profiled, I guess, if you want to call it that, or colorism, towards white people.
Right.
So
That's so
we
interesting.
shouldn't be against each other, I guess. We should just come together and figure out how to fix it within our community. Because to them, it doesn't matter.
And what happens when a woman who is dark-skinned is feminine in terms of how she dresses, how she's not yelling, she's not screaming, she's actually soft? Do you find that you see that often? And when you do, do you feel, when you do you feel surprised by that? When you see that, or in your own world, do you also expect another dark-skinned woman to be more aggressive? Is it a shock when you see a light-skinned person who's loud and obnoxious and not feminine at all?
I mean, I feel like they get glorified regardless of what they do. I feel like they can scream and yell and they'll get put on a pedestal regardless. But if we do it, it's a problem.
Can I argue
That's how I
that?
feel. Look at, all these rappers that are lighter, that get on live and they just act crazy, but let a dark-skinned black rapper do it. She's this, that, and the third. You know what I mean? It's just the reality of what it is, but that's the truth, I feel.
Again, I do think it's circumstantial. I do feel like maybe my life experience might be a little unique, but for example, I'm a manager at a gym, operations manager. It's a male-dominated space, but I'm the one running that shit. I'm super loud, that's what I'm known for. They can hear me across the gym. I have 30 different laughs. I'm light-skinned, and they don't put me on that pedestal. Because in the environments I work in, it's predominantly white, Latino, Asian. Again, I'm just still that loud black girl. Like, and that's always how I've been. But again, I totally understand what you're saying based on the spaces you've been in. Because at least in my experience, they're not differentiating the layers of blackness. They just see someone who's not white, and she's that stereotypical, archetypal, loud black woman.
I mean, I think a loud black woman in other people's eyes is a loud black woman, but it's more palatable to be of a fair tone than a dark skin. Because if I was in your situation, somebody would report me to HR real quick. Real quick.
I feel like the thing that backs up what you're saying is that they don't have to do too much as far as to assert their dominance, whereas we, as far as my experience, or probably all of our experiences more or less, gotta put a little more pep in our step, speak with our voice louder to assert our dominance, where they naturally bring that off, and they don't want to do that, or because then that's taking away from them trying to be soft, and they are seen as more masculine, or less feminine, or whatever the question was saying. And so it's like, I don't know, it just kind of contradicts, because it's like, well, yeah, like you get to speak with a loud voice at the gym, whereas like if you walked into the gym, you don't have to do that, and that's not necessarily fair, but that's just how the cookie's crumbling. So.
And I think in media, there's not a lot of examples of dark-skinned black women who are feminine, who are soft, right? Oftentimes in roles are portrayed in that stereotypical way. So you're not seeing a lot of examples, I think, culturally. You don't get to see that as, oh, this is out there, this is beautiful, this is an option for a dark-skinned woman who can be soft and feminine and sweet.
I feel like it is out there, it's just hidden. I feel like when it comes on to dark-skinned women, it's like everyone turns their head because they don't want to see it. Because let's be real. If they were to put it out there that, oh, dark-skinned women and darker tone women are soft, they are elegant, they are, up there, then that'll make us equal. Then there's no way to separate women, period. Because realistically, I feel like this is a whole separation tactic. Keep us against each other, arguing about something that's not, there's bigger problems in this world, realistically. So it's really to distract everyone and to make Black women feel less, darker women feel less than they actually are, because a lot of women are never gonna rise into their power or see themselves as worthy of these things or valuable if they highlight that, realistically.
And thank God for social media, because
Yeah.
we're starting to see that with darker skinned women, with Alondria from Love Island, with Janae from Love Island too. And it's like, oh, dark skinned women can be soft, they can be, girly, they can be soft speaking, but they're still like, on social media scrolling, and like there's still stuff coming against them. And it's like, just let them exist. Like, let her be dainty and girly. Like, I don't get it.
I was just gonna
Like,
say they still trying to, switch it around and say other stuff. So, but I guess that's just life.
It just made me think about, like, at least for me growing up, Serena Williams and Kelly Rowland. Everybody thinks that you're supposed to be like a Kelly Rowland feminine, but Serena's not feminine, but she's just as feminine as, like, femininity in itself, it's different for any type of woman. Like, it's not, okay, you're supposed to be like this in this list. If you're not this feminine, then you're masculine. So the definition of femininity is an arguable question as well.
But the question is, who's telling us what femininity is? We're women. At the end of the day, we know what femininity is because we are women. We cannot listen to men or people who aren't women but
then
to
we're
tell
getting
us
to a
how to
different
be
ball
feminine.
game.
Like, that doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
Like,
That's funny.
And it is an important conversation because if a little girl or a young girl, I think of like a teenager, my niece she's 13. If she sees herself as so dark and so ugly because that's what the world is saying, that's what men are saying, she's more likely to end up having low self-esteem or even going the other way, being very promiscuous. And any guy who gives her attention, she's like, oh, finally, it's like, and then going down that road, it can be very dangerous to be perceived as undesirable.
but it could be a good thing. I feel like it could be a good thing. It just depends on your mindset. I feel like as a kid, I was very strong-minded, and you cannot tell me, if I think the sky's pink, and you're not convincing me otherwise. And I feel like with that happening to me as a child, it made me stand firm in everything I believe in. I'll go against the pack without having a problem with it. I'll have people look at me sideways without having a problem with it. Like, I was able to stand firm in everything. Like, nobody's judgment could steer me. Like, I'm unfazed.
I'm the same way. Even in my friendships now, I'm the most, I want to say not separated, but I'm very like, I don't do what you guys do. And I'm the darkest one in my friend group, my immediate friend group. I've always been the one, like, if I don't want to stay somewhere, I'm out. I'm leaving. If I don't want to do that, I'm not going to do it. And they kind of look at me sometimes like, you have the audacity to say no? It's like, yes, I have the luxury to say no. And I'm like, I'm tired of the world telling me I can't because I'm more darker than someone else. So I'm going to make my own rules. And if I want to change my mind, I can too. But yeah, just being different, I would say it's the best thing. The confidence level I have gained over the years. I'm just like, I love this version. I think I also inspire my friends who are lighter skinned. Like, wow, I want to be like her with her confidence level. Like, she's not afraid of anything. She wants to do whatever she wants. That, I hope I'm inspiring them to just, you can do the same thing. It doesn't matter what complexion you are. I hope I'm an example in a positive way.
I love that.
Yeah.
Speaking of friend groups, I know you all have friends of maybe other Black women. How does that work out when, let's say, you're going out? Because oftentimes we'll hear women saying, okay, we're going to all go out to, some party or whatever. But they know that the guys are all going to go for their light-skinned friend just because she's light-skinned, or feel like they're not going to get the attention that they want. Has anyone experienced that?
All the time. Like, it's bad. Like, when I used to go out to the clubs with my friends, a lot of my friends are lighter. Well, they used to be lighter. And we'll get into places simply off their skin tone. They'll look at me sideways and try to, like, hold me at the door. And me, baby, I'll go home. I'm quick to rub these feet together. You don't gotta tell me twice.
Wait, so they let your friends in and told you to go home?
Yeah, and then my friends will have to fight for me like, no, we're not coming in if she's not coming in, and it's simply off my skin tone. We've gotten kicked out well, they've gotten kicked out sections because of my skin tone. Me, I'm not moving. Baby, get the security and tell them to take me home while you're at it. Cause like, I don't play that. Like, you gotta give me a better reason besides my skin tone. Once I know it's about my skin tone, it's raps. Oh, baby, we're going there. You're gonna hear my mouth every time. So that was always my problem.
That is awful. Have you ever noticed that with your friends?
Yes.
If you have?
I've been on both ends of that because I have friends who are 2-3 shades lighter than me with really long, loose, curly hair, and then it's like I'm not there. And so I see it firsthand. And then I have some friends who are darker than me, and we've been in spaces where we've gone out and they're not even talking to them or acknowledging them. So it's really interesting because I think especially with Black men, they have this indoctrination that they haven't really taken the time to dismantle. And I feel like if we just go all the way back in an alternate universe where lighter skinned people were working in the fields and darker skinned people were working in the house, and then you just fast forward and you see in the media like all dark skinned women with huge 4C afros, do you really think that that's something you would still want, like light skinned women on your arm? Because I feel like a lot of people, they just want that to show off to other people, and they don't even really like the person sometimes. Like, it's just, this is what's popular, this is what I want because it's popular.
You made an interesting note amongst light skins, because you said you have friends that are even lighter than you are, and you would get ignored. I experienced the same thing because my other friends, they're very light skinned, very, very loose curls, like almost straight hair, if you will. I'm never the one to get looked at or hit on going out. Even to this day, if I am with those friends, nobody. I'm so serious. And it's just wild because in my head, I'm like, we're both pretty, different types of pretty because we look different features, different background. But just radio silence if I'm with those friends, but then on my own, I would get hit on. So it's just, I don't know if that's like an LA OC thing specifically, that's everywhere, but that's what I've experienced as well. There's layers to being light skinned too, which I didn't know.
I didn't know that either.
I'm like, wow. The next prompt is, I have benefited from colorism in ways I didn't recognize before. Okay, someone who has benefited from it.
The first thing that came to my head, I wouldn't really say was okay. I had a couple things come to my head. So one of the things that it's not a benefit, and I'm not condoning it whatsoever, but it can be perceived as a benefit. For an example, I was in my cousin's wedding, my cousin from Georgia, she's darker than me, and we went to a David's bridal somewhere in the South, and all of her friends were darker. I'm the light one there in my family and her friends. So we go to try on dresses, and the lady who was helping us was a white lady. She would not touch the other girls. She didn't want to fit them. She only wanted to touch me. I didn't notice because I don't know, I just was oblivious to it. But she kept saying like, oh, like you come here and like we can fit her. I'm not the bride. My cousin was the bride, but didn't really want to like acknowledge or touch them, like to zip up the dress. She would only offer to help me. And she was like, one of her friends had made a comment, if I was lighter like you don't even see the issue. And so like things like that where I'm like, I didn't even recognize.
How does that make you feel when you or hear that from like internally? Does it faze you at all, or how does it make you feel on the inside?
It honestly makes me feel bad sometimes because I didn't feel the pain that they felt. Like I didn't feel the direct discrimination that they felt because they were darker. And it sucks that it's even a thing because at the end of the day, they were all beautiful. I didn't see like, oh, because you're darker or because I'm lighter. It's not that. They were all beautiful, and it was really hard to be in the middle of, in real life, watching the discrimination based off of tones that I didn't see. And I hurt for them, and I also hurt for the people who have experienced things like that. So it made me, in that moment, it made me feel really bad. Yeah.
I agree with what you said. I don't think it's right, but I definitely recognize that the lighter you are, the more privileged you are, the nicer people will treat you. I mean, I'm very well traveled. I've been to many countries. I've lived in many countries. So it's not just an American issue, it's a global issue. And I'm always advocating against it. I think it's very unfair. I personally don't see skin color just based on my background. In fact, sometimes I even forget how light I am until certain moments, treatment, like I said, I'll be with friends that are darker and I'll see, how men approach them, or sometimes overly sexualizing them in a weird way, or bouncers, even staff at restaurant, like waiters, waitresses, and I'm just like, this is not fair, this is not right. And sometimes it makes me feel guilty for being lighter, and I feel like I can't compliment myself or hype myself up, and do too much, quote unquote, because it makes me feel uncomfortable and I don't want to seem like I'm trying to become above, my peers, those around me. So it also just makes me feel uncomfortable in certain situations of not knowing how much I can say, not knowing how confident I can come across as well.
So do you realize it's happening around you, or someone has to point it out? Do you naturally just see it? Like if a waiter came and was focusing on your order and all into you, would you think, oh, it's just because I'm pretty? Or would you think, oh, it's because I'm light?
I try not to focus too much on my skin color just because as a person, I don't want to be hyperfixated on skin tones, but I'm very observant and I think it's just a matter of discernment. Like you can just discern when someone is being racist or having certain microaggressions, and I definitely do see that, and I think it's very, very unfair. So I can't imagine what that's like, just trying to go about your day and receiving different treatment. And, even with me, because I have an English accent, people are always like, wow, you're so proper and you're so put together. And there's even certain white people that are comfortable to tell me like, yeah, you're so relaxed, you're like not aggressive. And I'm like, you're talking to the wrong person right now, because I do not agree with you. I think they even forget themselves around me. And similar to you, I grew up predominantly white schools. I was in private schools. I was always one of the minority in terms of, being Black people. But I think because of my worldview and my background, and because I sound quote unquote proper, that I had better treatment as well.
Oh, so, well, I know a lot of you ladies are models. So in the entertainment industry, in the modeling industry, do you think that the entertainment industry in general prefers lighter skin tones?
Yes, depends on the project.
I feel like in modeling, if you're a really deep skin tone, you benefit. I personally have benefited. I started modeling in 2016, and I feel like there was a shift in 2016 with the uprise of Afro beats. All of a sudden, everybody wanted to be deeper skin. It was cool to be African, and I benefited from it. I'm not gonna lie. And that's when I started modeling, and I noticed that, almost every set I'm on, it's like, okay, we need a dark-skinned girl, and especially if your skin tone is really, really deep, you get booked. I feel like if you're in between, it's actually harder. I saw a tweet from Jay Versace, he said that, like, if you're not, like, really, really deep, it's hard for you to model. And a lot of people came at him for that. But honestly, he's kind of right. Like, you have to look different in some way, shape, or form. And, we do look different in America because we're such deep skin tones. So when you look different, you're more likely to be a model. So, yeah, I think that.
It's so crazy because I feel like, not to cut you off, you were done.
No, go
I'm
for
sorry.
it.
No, that's when I started to feel like beautiful. When I started modeling, because like when you're modeling, it's different than just being out in the world. It's like the models and the staff and people on the campaign, they appreciate your skin. They booked you because of how you look.
Yeah.
So you feel the most loved in those situations. So I wouldn't necessarily say I see the colorism like in modeling for me.
I do. I think it depends. It depends on what you're shooting. It depends on the project. It depends what they're using you for. Because sometimes they might just throw in a Black girl or a dark-skinned girl just because they need to just throw you in there. And
Feel that
sometimes you can
blanket.
feel the effects of them just needing one dark tone girl just to put in there because they treat you away. Like even the way they do your makeup, you can feel it. And I noticed that a lot when it comes on to modeling and music videos. It's just now that I'm starting to see more darker tone women being highlighted because of the model Anoki. I'm about to butcher her name, Lord. But yeah, that model, I've been seeing her a lot in Travis Scott videos, and that's when I started seeing more artists. They were probably using darker tone before, but I started seeing it more so when Travis Scott started using her, and certain artists will use like 1 or 2 darker tone, highlighting them. But before, no. A dark tone girl leading in a music video,
Yeah,
no
right.
boobs, no booty.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
baby.
crazy. Never heard of. Never heard of.
That's true. Any of you want to chime into that?
I would say, and correct me if I'm wrong, what you guys think. I feel like more like what you were saying, maybe more in high fashion and modeling. And again, it depends on the book, the project, the shoot. Darker tones are preferred. I think on social media, I think it also depends on your own algorithm, what you're consuming. I'm also light-skinned, so maybe I'm seeing more light-skinned influencers, but when I do tend to see ads or little commercials or on TV, if someone's black, they do tend to be light-skinned.
Yes, I do see that as
Yeah, I do feel like sometimes light-skinned people are chosen because they meet, like they're good enough for white people and they're still black, so it's good enough for black people too. Like it's like they're like the perfect mix, not too black. Because I have gone to castings where they say they want a black girl, but they don't really want a black girl. They just sort of want to meet a quota, or they want a black girl, but they don't want a dark-skinned girl. You know, they don't want it too black. They just want black enough. And I feel like, yeah, that's where light-skinned girls definitely benefit in the modeling and acting industry. Yeah.
I agree with you 100%. I think I saw a video and it was very similar to what Jay said. He said you either have to be like super light skin or really dark skin, and there's not a lot of in-between room for regular black models. I think especially just in like commercials or the mass media, there is still a big preference for lighter skinned women. I'm also seeing like a lot of interracial families as well. There's nothing wrong with it. It's just what I've been seeing, and I haven't really seen a lot of big push for darker skin representation, unless, like you guys were talking about, depends on the role, which maybe is getting better, but in my opinion, not really.
Yeah, thanks for sharing that. I know we talked about like the men and kind of like pitting women against each other, and maybe they're not even attracted to someone that's light skinned, but it's just for the looks. Do you feel men within the black community contribute to colorism more than the women do?
Yes.
For sure.
I don't feel like it's, I haven't experienced, because my sister is light skinned, so I have a different outlook on it too. But I haven't really experienced it from the women. I don't ever blame the women. Most of the time, it's not them, it's what society puts on them. And it's like that makes dark skinned people or dark skinned women or men mad at the light skinned side, when it's like a lot of them feel like how they feel. It's the world and society, the media, entertainment. It's the people that's working the production and booking the models and stuff like that. It's those people that's pushing it off on them that's making us think that it's them, it's not really them. That's how I feel. It may be some cases, it might be light-skinned people treating dark-skinned people, but overall, I feel like it's the people that's running the productions and stuff like that.
But do you feel like those people are just trying to give people what they want?
Yeah, but it's like to a certain extent, you gotta ask yourself, do you wanna give people what they want, or do you wanna fix the problem? You know what I mean? So
I oppose. I feel like they're not giving people what they want. I feel like the people, I'll say, I don't want to put it on one race, but I feel like there are higher ups that want certain things in place, and in order to make that happen, like I said earlier, there needs to be a separation. And of course, they're gonna start with the head of the household, men and black men. If you could separate black men from black women or their families, or cause a separation and leave more single black women, it's better for them or what they're trying to do. I don't know. I'm not no activist or nothing, y'all, but this is just what I see.
But listen though,
This is what I see.
the people that you're talking about, they're normally white.
Yeah.
They're not light-skinned, they're not biracial, they're not, for the most part, they're white. So it's like, is this even a black thing, or is this a white against black thing? You get what I'm saying?
I feel like they're using what they can do to poison the minds of black men? Because realistically, the black men are considered the head, correct? Right. So if you can convince them of something and they're pouring it into us women and convincing the women or beating that into a woman, you succeed. So I wouldn't blame a light-skinned woman. I would definitely say it's more so the black men, and it's highlighted in everything, in media and everything. Like a black man, they want, oh my God, I need a mixed child. I need a child that's like lighter. I need a child that's this because they'll be more beautiful. They like the soft hair, pretty-eyed baby. You feel me? They want that. So it's like, because it's deemed as, oh, I'm that man, or I got it all, or I got that thing going for me when that's the case. You feel me?
I can't blame the black man because we're the mother. We give birth. They come through us to exist, right? And if we're not pouring into our seeds, into our community, they're learning from us. They're hating what we created. They're hating us. So we're pouring them out into the world to be these things. It starts at home. Are we going to let society raise us? Are we going to rely on the mass or, the man, whomever, this person that is drawing division to continue to lead? So I'm not gonna blame other people for my actions because, I too was the one following and, this is what, this is what's being put out there, so I'm feeding into it. My experiences, black women, I am proud of myself today that I can say I have black female friends, but growing up, black women was the main ones demonizing me for my skin, lighter women, So, and then the black men just saw what they were doing and amplifying it. So I feel like if we take responsibility in our own actions, we raise our sons, we raise our daughters for self-worth, self-love. As a mother, a nurturer, pour into your child, your son, show him you are worthy, not just out here doing what you got to do, because they're going to the other races or the other things because you weren't what they needed. You hurt him. And then now he's hurting other people. It's a domino effect. So somebody got to be like, okay, let me stop, let me correct it. That's where the correction starts with us, I feel like, within the community, versus wanting rappers to try to do it, wanting social media to do it, wanting jobs to do it. We have to give respects to ourselves. And then that's how generationally we can correct something that's been 400 years drawn into us.
And the next prompt is, I prefer men of the other skin tone. Okay, now you can discuss.
I would like to say that I really don't discriminate. If you're attractive, I'm into it. It's not like whether because you're light skinned, because you're dark skinned. It's like if you look good, you look good. So that's personally how I feel. If you're light skinned, dark skinned, whatever, white, Hispanic.
So you're attracted to both. Because you have some women who will say it, and it's out of honesty.
Yeah,
I'm not attracted to men who have light skin.
My friends,
Okay.
I'm the only one in my friend group who is attracted to everyone. I like who likes me. I don't care what color, what background, as long as you're a good person, I'm okay with it. But my friends, they're like, no, he has to be a black man. Does not matter what complexion, but he has to be a black man.
That's me. That's how I feel. Because growing up in a multicultural house firsthand, not only with my mom being black and my dad being white, but also my family having the roles reversed with the woman being white and the man being black. I see what kind of problems can bring firsthand with two different skin tones clashing and what like the things that are just built up there from over time. And so just from my personal experience with dating and then seeing it firsthand, in general, I'm like, okay, like he black, now he black, like that's okay. so yeah.
Me, I feel like it depends. Like I really like dark tone men. My dad was a 6'8" chocolate tall man, and I always saw that as like it's like royalty to me. It's just like the skin tone. So I was like, I've always been attracted to darker tone men, but I feel like a lot of them don't really value or see the value in darker tone women, so they just treat you any way. So I really like whoever likes me, but I'm more so attracted to them, but I don't really get that, Yeah.
I hear you.
For me, I would say I truly don't see color. It's more of the character, kindness, are they a leader, are they God-fearing? So there's a lot of other qualities I see, and I don't even see it as like, oh, are they black or not? I would see it as, are they cultured and well-mannered? Because, you know, I come from a very big cultured family, being West African. So even if they aren't, it's like, can you understand my culture and somewhat adapt to it? So to me, that would be the main important thing than just the skin color. Because I, you know, meet people that are from all over the world and they're very well traveled and they're very well cultured. And to me, I would put that on a higher pedestal than just the skin color.
What about you?
I would have to add to that. You have to understand culture. I grew up more with my Filipino side, so my Filipino culture, we do a lot of, like, we have debuts, we have different ceremonies for different things. We have a very rich culture that I grew up around. And for me, like, you would have to be open-minded to that, because let's say we date, we have kids, our kids are going to be half Filipino and half Black or whatever. You know, my kids are half Black, half Filipino, and Hispanic and Cherokee Indian. So they have a big mix. And that was one of the things for me when we decided to have kids, that you have to be open-minded to the culture. Because I've met people where they're like, I would never mix races. That's like looked down upon. And for me, that was such a shock to hear, because I'm just like, there's so much more out there, but you shouldn't discriminate based on like, oh, he's darker, I'm automatically gonna X him out, or, ooh, he's lighter, he might be soft. Like, I don't want someone like that. So I personally didn't answer because I don't see the color. For me, it's one day I'm dating to have children, and our children, I want them to be exposed to traveling and not seeing like, my dad is dark, my mom is light. Like, no, it's not a thing. I love my kids. He loves our kids. That's all that matters.
Yeah, thank you. Would all of you ladies agree that on this side that you don't see color? You both mentioned that.
I see color.
I
You
see
do.
color.
Okay.
I wouldn't necessarily say I don't see color, because I definitely do. But when it comes to dating, you need to have a personality. That is the number one. Have a job. That's probably number one. But in general, I truly, truly value so much more than just skin tone. I don't care. If you're dark skinned and you're taller than me, you're sexy, cool. If you're light skinned, cool. If you're a different race, cool. As long as we can respect each other's cultures, that's fine. My first boyfriend was Korean. Like, I could respect it. Could his family respect mine? No. And that's why that ended. But I think it's just about like respect and attraction. That's just me personally. I see the color, but I don't mean that in a negative way, per se.
Right, exactly. So would all of you ladies here say that you're both attracted to both?
Definitely
Light and
attracted to
dark.
both sides. It's just, you said preference.
I
so
feel like if I was walking down the street and it was a light-skinned guy and it was a dark-skinned guy, they was both twins, I would look at the dark-skinned guy first. I'm not about to sit here and play. I'm not about
Thanks
to sit
for
here
your
and play with y'all. I would
honesty. I
look at him
appreciate
first.
your
Now,
honesty.
does that mean the light-skinned one couldn't get my number? If he approached me and was like, hey, I'm interested, and the dark-skinned wasn't, then whatever. But my eyes are going to go to the dark-skinned.
Okay. Thank you for your honesty.
For real, y'all see here playing.
That's what I'm looking for. Okay.
To quickly mention, I think it's so interesting because Black women are always so uplifting to dark-skinned men and are always even like putting them on a pedestal, complimenting them. And I just wish that it was reciprocated back to you guys with, you know, how they feel towards different shades of women as well.
That's sweet, though. I appreciate that for you saying that. I wish just, can you call them and tell them?
I will. If they're listening right now, like, do better.
You made a comment earlier, I could be butchering it, so I'm sorry, but you basically said something along the lines of dark-skinned men typically, or in your experience, not being attracted to dark-skinned women. I've also seen that because with my light-skinned friends who are lighter than me, dark-skinned men would love them and would never shut up about how light-skinned they were. And then when the topic of their own color got brought up, they're like, oh no, I'm not dark-skinned. They were very clearly dark-skinned. It's okay. And that's okay, but I think because they internalize their own skin color and they hate themselves in that regard, they want a light-skinned woman to also then have those lighter-skinned babies.
Did y'all ever grow up hearing light is right?
Ooh.
Yeah, I've heard that.
I did
I've
not
heard
hear that.
White is
I
right.
heard
I've
white
heard.
is right.
That's
The
just
one
white.
I read, that one.
And the next prompt is, society is slowly becoming more inclusive towards all skin tones.
I feel like kinda. Like maybe like with the modeling stuff, and as time goes on, they have no choice. People are noticing. It's like they're doing it because people are noticing, not because they genuinely feel like they want to do it. Because I mean, if that was the case, they would have did it a long time ago. I think they're doing it because light-skinned women are starting to speak up. Dark-skinned women are starting to speak even more up because clearly we loud and crazy. So I think people are just starting to really be on one side, like we're all here together. This is a big thing, us talking about it. So I think people are just starting to notice, and that's the only reason why they're trying to
I
change
think
it.
it's fake. I think it's for fake. They just want us to be quiet a little bit. It's almost like a kid crying for a piece of candy, right? You want the kid to shut up. Like after a while of them crying and being annoying, you're gonna be like, okay, let me give you a tiny piece of candy, or I give you a little piece, but the bag is still gonna stay over here. You know? It's one of those scenarios where it's like, with this situation, they want us to feel like we're getting somewhere, but in reality, we're getting absolutely nowhere because we're still separated. Yeah. It's still not fixed. It's just highlighting, let me not say that. It's just highlighting certain things and aspects to make us feel better and calm down. That's
I
it.
feel like in society it's profitable, highly profitable to bring on the darker tones, because then it quiets down like kind of the riffraff that's going right, and takes away of just like the ethnic of everything. Like I'm tired of hearing that word, and it's going to be ethnic. Like what does that mean? Like in the sense of like, okay, when people say ethnic, you have the lighter tones, and then you have like maybe 2 blacks, or you have every race and then maybe like 1 black. So it's kind of like, that makes it ethnic, or like you're being inclusive diversity, so you won't be like, oh, so you won't be targeted. So it's just for the hush. Like it's very pacifying.
No, I agree. I was actually just talking to someone about this. It's almost like, if we talk about like movies and production and stuff, it's almost like they just have to meet a quota. They just have to throw in a colored person, so they're not like, oh, it's too white of a cast, or it's not diversified. So when you have movies, for example, the most recent movie I watched was I Know What You Did Last Summer. And they had a Asian or Hispanic looking girl, they had the white girl, or 2 white girls, 1 white guy, and then like I was telling my man, we were watching it, they threw in this guy who was half black, half white, but his dad was white in the movie, so I feel like they threw him in there to meet the quota of like, okay, he can still meet the white side, and we can grab the black audience because the mom was black or
And
whatever.
that's crazy because I saw the same movie. I thought the same
The
thing
same
while I was
thing.
watching it. I
Yeah,
was like,
they
there
just
are
kinda
no
had to
black
throw
people
it in
this
there.
movie. Yes, he is. He's half, but I'm like,
He didn't look
he
it,
looks
yeah.
more on the other side than the
Yeah.
black side to me.
So
I'm like,
for
this movie,
media,
yeah.
exactly, like I think it's more of just like, it's a quota, and exactly to add on to what you said, like if we could just sprinkle a little bit of the candy just to keep it quiet, and then there's money on the line, it just makes things better. But
Like it's giving, you better be grateful you're a part of it.
right,
type
yeah,
vibes.
like just be happy that you're here,
It's
just so
giving
they
here,
don't
damn.
exactly.
What about someone who agrees with that is getting better? There were some greens.
I put that I agree because I think it's at least 1% better than it was before. So I think it's important to like recognize that we're at least trying, we're here having these conversations, bringing awareness, children are hopefully being raised with different mindset and mentalities, but I do think it is the here damn, like you said, and I do think that dark-skinned women do have to work harder, or, like you mentioned, you have to really look very different and maybe be the extreme of one end, or like the model you mentioned, you have to be in like the top 0.01% of like women, or you have to have Eurocentric features in order to be considered beautiful, whereas I'm sorry to say, but there's some women that, in my opinion, are very mid, but just because of their skin complexion, they would be deemed more beautiful. And I don't think that's fair. So I do definitely think that you still need to work harder and fight for the things that you want.
Yes. Do you think healing colorism requires both light and dark-skinned women to listen to each other without being defensive? Yeah. And I don't think that you ladies are
I
defensive
think
at
this
all.
group of women alone, it's just been blowing my mind all day.
Because it's not the
everyone is
woman.
just so welcoming.
It's not the woman. It's never
Like-
been the woman. It's the man.
Yeah.
Like I
It's
said, I got
the-
a sister that's light skinned. She used to come home to me and be like, "Yo, this other mixed girl, she thinks she looks better than me. Mind you, she red, like light skinned like them, and she feels the same way." So it's like it's us against the world more so than us against each other.
Interestingly enough, I had brought up to some of the ladies before this shoot began that I've done a similar video, but it was black men versus black women. And the problem was indeed the men.
The men.
That's where the tension was versus this environment has been great. Even when we disagree, we're not coming for each other personally or being disrespectful. And I forgot who made a point on an earlier question about how colorist comments, it more so comes from the men and not the women. That's been my experience too. I've never once, regardless of color, again, in my experience, had other black women have something negative to say about how I look or vice versa. It's always been the men. So I'm not trying to put it all on the men because I think there's work to be done on both sides. Don't get me wrong, there's light skins I know. They do think they're better than other people because they're light skinned. They're like, yeah, I'm light skinned. Every guy wants me. So there's definitely the women that are like that. But I would say there's work to be done on both sides, for sure.
I've had both. So I do want to clarify there's like two sides to that, because I've definitely had darker skinned women before I even spoke. Like, she thinks she's better than me. Yeah, she thinks she's the shit because she has light eyes. She wouldn't be shit if she didn't have light eyes. So I think there's two sides, but it's definitely not all on the women. I think is both. And I think I agree with you so much. Like, conversations like this are so important because you never know who's watching at home and thinking like, oh, I have a similar experience. Or maybe we said something that they didn't think about and they're like, I didn't think about it like that. Now I'm gonna think about it like that. So I love conversations like these. And I'm that type of person, like, I don't subscribe to the notion that racism is just gonna go away if we stop talking about it. And I feel the same about colorism and featureism, texturism. So I think this is so important. Yeah.
Just to quickly say something, I did have a similar experience, whereas actually the first time I came to the US, I was very heavily bullied by darker skinned women because they would say, oh, are you faking your accent? Or you think you're so proper because you talk in a certain way? Oh, why are you talking like that? And I didn't feel accepted by them. And I actually was more, quote unquote, accepted by my white peers instead. So my first form of bullying did come from dark skins, but I think as I grew up, I realized the root of the issue, was social media and it was men. And I've now been able to forgive and let go of that because I understand where that was stemming from.
And ignorance. Like,
Yeah.
who walks around faking an accent?
I don't know.
A lot of people walk around faking accents.
So yes, that's more common here.
Just be who you are, okay?
I feel as though, with a former question where you asked if you've been benefited from colorism, I put yes. Unlike most people, I put yes because I feel like it's benefiting the darker tone more than we see it, because there's young kids and young girls out there that's seeing it and able to witness it happen via social media and stuff, and they're like, okay, I'm not alone. I'm not the only one dealing with this. And you're able to influence them. You're able to give them hope based on how you react, based on how you move forward with it, and you're making more people aware, So yes, I feel like benefited from it because I've helped a lot of younger girls, not even just dark girls. There's light-skinned female that come to me like, oh my God, I'm the only dark girl in my family, and this is what I had to deal with, and so it brings awareness. So I feel like at the end of the day, we all benefit from it.
Yeah, when she was talking about the modeling, I was like, I definitely benefit from it.
I have a question for you models on the side. If you grew up in an environment where people were speaking negatively about your skin, your family, your friends, your peers, what changed to allow you to feel so confident that you could be a model?
I would like to say that when I was growing up, I was bullied more by Black people than anybody else. People that weren't even as light as you guys, people that were maybe a shade or two lighter than me felt like they were better than me simply because they were light. I know, right? Simply because they were lighter than me. And so I remember quite literally asking God, why did you make me this skin color? Because I cannot change it, and people keep bullying me, and it doesn't make sense. People who look like me are bullying me. Where do I go? Honestly, the white kids were more accepting to me than some of the black kids. So when I got to high school, I joined the dance team, and I was like, you know what? I think I could do this. So I made sure I was really, really good at dancing and being on the dance team, because I was like, you could say something about my skin color, but you can't say I can't dance. Period. So I would just put it in there, and by performing, that gave me the confidence to feel like I'm good at something, you know? Like, you may look at me and think one way, but when I perform, you're gonna love it.
Prove it right now.
Dance off right here, right now. I don't even dance anymore like that, but it helps in modeling too. Yeah, like the movement from dance helps with the poses in modeling. So when I started modeling, I was like, oh God, I see why you gave me the skin tone.
No,
well, thank you.
I have a very similar situation. I used to always like ask God, like, why me? Why I gotta look different? Just make me regular, please. Let me look like the rest of my family or something. And it took, one, I have a daughter, it took my daughter, it took sports, and it took like understanding that, okay, nothing's gonna change. You feel me? Like, I can't change it. Once I got to the realization in high school that I can't change it, you guys couldn't tell me I couldn't do anything I wanted to do. I literally became the best in everything that I can do. I made sure I was top in sports. When people tell me, oh, you will not be able to do this, I used to run track, for instance. I switched events, went to hurdles. Nobody wanted to help me. Nobody wanted to train me because they was more focused on the other girls, and they didn't. I never got my flowers, and I was okay with it as long as I was. You can see it. You can see my work. You know, I don't need you to acknowledge it, but you can see it as clear as day. So when I got really good in track, got my scholarship to come to Texas. That's when I got to Texas was the first time that someone was like, oh my God, I love your skin. In Connecticut, that's where I went to high school. In Connecticut, I did not hear that. You love my skin. What? So in Texas, I got that, and then I started building and gaining more and more confidence based on my gifts, my talents, and after I had my daughter, it skyrocketed, because one thing I never wanted was for my daughter to experience the same things that I had to experience, or to feel less than, less beautiful. She's lighter, but I want her to know, like, baby, in the summertime, you're gonna get dark. You're gonna get real dark, and the people's gonna get darker towards you. So let's nip this in the bud right now. So that's they do.
Not the people gonna get darker towards.
They are.
If you guys are like, it's gonna sound finicky, but like if you're hearing yourself talk, it kind of goes into what we as Black women have to do in general. And then also on Apple TV, there is a show called Number One on the Call Sheet, and the first episode was with men, Black men, and the second episode was with Black women. And what we're talking about now, what they were discussing on that show, is how much we have to perform, how much better we got to be compared to those of other races in order to be deemed accepted, or even to validate within our own selves. And it's like, it's great. It's like, yeah, we're the best, but it's like, we got to push ourselves and push ourselves and push ourselves to a certain point in order to be the best. And it's like two, what's the term? Two separate ends of the same stick. So like, it kind of breaks my heart, because it's like, damn, we got to do all this to be the best, but I mean, hell, I'm the best. Yeah. And so like, it's really good, and I'm glad you guys felt that way, and I'm sure we all kind of feel that way. But even on the show, like, I think they said less than 2% of actors in Hollywood are Black women, and it's like, that's just such a small thing. So you gotta think, like, of all the roles that keep coming out, think of all the Black women like trying to go on the role, and then even now, like with me, when I get a role and I have to do a self-tape, it doesn't even say what race it is anymore. It just says like women and what age and like, you know, the description of the character. And it's like, I'm not even up against other Black women anymore, which is already a small quota that are trying to do this, and we're already performing at our best. I'm up against, you know, people of other races now, and they don't necessarily have to go as hard. They can be mediocre, but because they're of a certain pigment, they're probably going to get chosen compared to us, where we do apply ourselves 125%, and we're still not chosen, even though we could be better. And so like, it's just a sad full circle. It's like happy and sad, because like, we good, but damn, I'm tired. Like, okay.
Yeah, thank you for
So,
sharing
yeah.
that. That's so true. Thank you. And the final prompt is, I would want my daughter to feel beautiful no matter how light or dark she is. Of course, anyone can share on this.
Well, my father is actually very light, and my mom, I'm her twin. I look just like my mom. And she instilled in me, obviously, her own things growing up, and now that has transformed to my own confidence. And so whenever I have a child, whatever complexion she is, I just want her to know that you're beautiful no matter what. Like, we are so blessed to have the features we have, to come from the lineage we come from. I want to teach her our history. That right there, I want her to take pride in. So, yes, I want my daughter's hers, however many I'm going to have, feel so confident and beautiful, and just know that you are more than enough, no matter what nobody else has to say.
I want to add to that. Do you? Okay. I have 2 daughters. Growing up, again, Filipino, my mom did not know how to do my hair. I love her, but my hair was flat ironed since 2nd grade up until like now. So now that my daughters are mixed, they have more of like the coarser hair. I don't know what to do with it. I don't know what products to use. I've always just had my hair straight. So when I teach my daughters about beauty and where I lack in knowledge, I want them, no matter what, their hair is a huge topic right now. My youngest or my oldest, she doesn't like the big hair. My youngest, she doesn't care. And I'm trying to teach her. I brought her to my hair appointment with me yesterday, and she was like, "Mommy, I don't like my hair. It's too big. At school, I'm the only one with the puffs," and it made me so sad because I know what she was talking about. You were the one who stood out, and I want to instill in them that no matter what your hair looks like, what society tells you, you have to know that, my dad used to tell me, you have so much to offer this world, the world has nothing to offer you. So what you bring to the table and who you are and your character, that's all that matters. And I don't want them to go through the struggles that I did going to a predominantly white school, private school my whole life. I didn't even really have many friends of color till I got into my 20s and I met friends in college. So I want them to really experience beauty from the inside out and know that, like, no matter what they look like, their skin tone, whatever it may be, that they are beautiful and they are chosen and protected and loved always. And it really sucks that she's 4. She's 4 years old and already is picking up on certain things of she's deeming because society is saying it's not as beautiful. And it's kind of an inner struggle with me because she's like, well, Mommy, you don't have big hair. Like, I have, my natural hair is long and curly. And she's like, my hair's not like yours. And it's like, it's definitely a struggle because I'm like, I want to instill in you, and I want to be that example. Like, I want my daughters to look at me and be like, and they tell me all the time, I want to do what you do. I want to be just like you. And I'm like, oh, okay, I'm doing something right. But it is hard being biracial of the things that I can teach them because I didn't learn a lot in Black culture. Unfortunately, and it's just now that I'm getting older that I'm experiencing things, and I want to instill that in them that, again, no matter what, like, you are the prize. You are the prize. And I hope that any woman or girl, little girl, whatever age you're at, you see this and you can see that it doesn't matter about the color. It's who you are on the inside, because we all bleed red at the end of the day. We all have our own struggles. We all have inner work to do. And I just hope that if my daughters ever see this, and all the daughters out there and the women, that beautiful is beautiful. And I'm so sorry to everyone who's had to experience colorism, racism, whatever it may be, that deemed you not beautiful.
Thank you. Yeah, it's so sad because if she was at home, she would love her hair, but because she has to go to school,
Exactly.
that's so sad.
Yeah.
So I do have a daughter, and I do have another baby on the way. And for me, that's one thing I always instill in my daughter ever since she was born. You guys, my daughter she probably thinks she's royalty in her head because she has the confidence. I've never seen anyone with her confidence. You cannot tell her she's beautiful. Like, she's so confident in everything that she does. And what I wanted to do was instill that in her from a very early age, to the point where she's pouring into other kids her age that's around her. One thing my daughter is known for is, especially at school, is helping other girls and kids be confident and just smile and be happy with what they have and how they are. And I feel like I've done a great job with that. My only thing is now with my next child, I'm very curious as to how things are gonna go, because I have to do things slightly different because their dad have kids that are interracial, and all the girls and his kids are majority are lighter, and they could pass for non-black. And my biggest thing is, I just don't want to have to face the idea of them being treated less than or different, or less beautiful, because I do see how, it can play a role when siblings have to grow up with each other and you're different tones. So that's the only thing. My biggest thing is instilling confidence and making sure that they know to love themselves no matter what, and that people are gonna speak down on you, and it's inevitable. So prepare them for the worst, but still instill the best into them, So yeah.
On that topic of confidence in motherhood, I'm not a mom, but I want to say shout out to you guys. Sorry if I get emotional in advance, I'm a crybaby. But I just want to say, because my confidence is something that I've struggled with my whole life, because growing up in a predominantly white community, I genuinely did not feel beautiful till last year. And that's something my mom could have helped me with, but she was insecure in her own ways too, so that transferred over to me. And so it's just beautiful to hear that you guys raise your daughters the way you do, because I would hate for your daughters to take it to them to be 25 years old when they finally feel pretty, when they finally accept the big hair. I only started wearing my hair down curly this year. I always have it up in a bun because I'm always like, it's so big and nobody else looks like me. And it wasn't until this year I was like, you can't change how you look. You have to just accept how you are. And the difference is beautiful. I think it's hard when it comes to myself or yourself to see your own beauty maybe at times, because in my own head, I'm like, well, I'm not this cookie cutter example of a black woman or a light-skinned woman, whatever it is. I don't look the way social media presents certain women to look, but that's the beauty of it. We all look different here, and we are all so pretty, and none of us look alike. And so I just think that's really beautiful, and I think the way you guys carry yourselves, it's gonna travel to your daughters as well. So just thank you for that, and the future community of black women that you're bringing into the world.
Oh, that's so sweet. Thank you. Thank you, ladies, for being here. This conversation was so beautiful and so needed, so powerful. I just want to hear from you. If there's anything that you want to share or leave us with, you can feel free to go ahead and just kind of go around and share.
I talk a lot. But anyways, I really want to share that it's not about your skin tone. It's not about the shade. At the end of the day, it's about unity, and it's about us valuing ourselves enough to see that we are valuable, not based off what society deems as valuable or showcase, but you have to know within yourself that you are valuable, you are royalty, no matter your shit. I said shit. Oh, shit. Oh. It doesn't matter your shade or complexion.
Please.
But yeah.
Okay, I'll go. I just want to say that regardless of what's going on in the world, you won't always be confident, but as long as you keep God first, He can always remind you how beautiful you are, whether you just had a baby and your body isn't the same, or you're having an acne breakout because you ate something that messed your skin up. And we're not going to always have moments in life, in this long life I pray that we all live, that we're always going to feel beautiful. So just keep God first, and He'll always remind you and get you back to square one of feeling confident and feeling beautiful in yourself, no matter what is going on with your body, hair, skin, teeth, whatever's going on with you. Keep God first and continue to pray, and I promise you, He will always remind you how beautiful you are inside and out. For real.
because that's who made me feel beautiful. Nobody in this world but God. I spent 4 years locked in isolation, building my confidence up, and God is the one that made me feel beautiful. And nobody, no modeling gigs, no nothing. In order for me to be able to do this as a plus size girl, being dark skinned, God had to step in and tell me, listen, we're gonna lock in. I'm gonna show you how beautiful you are inside and out. And you're gonna get on this show and talk to these people about me. Don't forget, when they wrapping it up, let them know who held you down for 4 years. If you locked in with God, you already know how he do. But yeah, just always keep God first, because I promise you, that's the person that's gonna keep you going and make you feel beautiful no matter what's going on in your life. And that's just really all I had to say.
Yeah, I just want to say really quickly as well, don't be afraid to look in the mirror. Don't ever be afraid to just stand there and look at yourself and just admire every single bit of you, from your hair to your eyebrows to your smile, and of course that skin tone, light or dark, it does not matter, or in between. Like, just embrace it. It is beautiful. You are here for a reason. God wanted you to look like this right now, in this time. You could have been born in any other generation. This is your moment. Embrace it and showcase to the world, this is who I am, and this is why you should love who you are too, because you are needed.
When you said any other generation, I'm like, thank God it won't slavery.
Okay. That's what I'm trying to say. It could be any other time.
Listen, it's hot outside. I'm tired of this, Grandpa. For real.
Okay, we'll have you two, and we'll try to, we have to wrap it up, so we'll go ahead and go, and then we'll go on this side.
I'm just going to piggyback off of what you said. It's not us versus each other. I think we need to stop separating ourselves and really just support each other, actually support each other, and not worry about silly stuff like skin tone. It doesn't matter.
I just want to say, whatever you got out this conversation, just understand, like, it's power and uniqueness. It's power within being able to stand out. You don't have to follow the masses, and just self-love and self-care. Choosing who you are and what you want to be, investing in yourself, and putting God first and whomever you believe in. But just having something to believe in and believing in yourself and having that self-confidence will set you far apart from where you need to be, and just allow yourself to love yourself.
Thank you. On this side, you can start.
I just want to say, of course, always the Father. We always put him first. Yes, Lord. But not only that, don't be afraid to speak up. Like, we as women, our voice deserves to be heard, for sure. Have that support system. Be bold, be authentic, be you, and be the change that you want to see, quite literally. So, turn up. Yeah.
Thank you.
I agree with what you said about it starting in the home and the things that we're consuming. And for those of us that have daughters who are going to have more children, and whether or not any of us choose to bring life into this world, I think that they're going to be very lucky. And I also think hair was a big thing for me. That was something I really wanted to mention. And I've gotten some really crazy comments about my hair. So if I ever am blessed to have children, I would love to instill that in them and just tell them that their crown is so beautiful and they're unstoppable. And then, of course, Black women, we love you. And we're not against each other, absolutely not.
I think my biggest takeaway from this is, yes, there are layers to Blackness, but that doesn't mean we need to be separate. As you had said, I believe it was you who said it, we're, to a certain degree, cut from the same cloth. We're in this together.
I would just say I agree with everyone. I think your identity is firstly in our Creator. At the end of the day, we live in a fallen world, so it's important to control what we can control, our character, our intelligence, educating ourselves, and these conversations are important, but at the same time, not to hyperfix on them, whereas it's clouding your judgment and stopping you from achieving your purpose and destiny. So just being realistic at the same time as being optimistic.
Like I had said earlier, one of the things my dad always told me was, you have so much to offer the world. The world has nothing to offer you. And kind of bringing it into, it starts in the home. When you teach your daughters or yourself, when you are pouring from a cup that is filled from him, like, you cannot make no mistakes, because he didn't make any mistakes. And he made each and every one of you beautiful, and everyone watching this beautiful and wonderfully made. So I would just like to say that.
Thank you so much. Yes, ladies who are watching at home, just know that if you are concerned about your complexion, the right person, the right man is out there for you. You don't have to do anything to yourself. Buy your correct foundation shade. Do the things that you know are true to you and not what the world wants to see, and everything will work out for you. Thank you, ladies, for being here today. I'm so grateful for this conversation. Let us know in the comments what you think, your thoughts, and your experience in your own lives. And until next time, bye-bye.
I started Doves of Dawn because a satin scarf is the best accessory you can have. I mean, I'm sure you already know they're super versatile. You can wear it out as your head, you can wear it as a top, you can wear it as a cover-up if you're by the water. I use them to protect my hair at night by wrapping my pillow in a scarf as well. So I always make sure that I'm good. You know, we have different sizes, 4 different sizes. We have minis, we have our standard size, our large size, and an extra large size. But don't let the sizes fool you, okay? Every size is for everybody. Each scarf tells a story and the designs elevate any look. So next time you're heading out, don't forget your Doves of Dawn scarf. You're gonna need it. Follow Doves of Dawn at Doves of Dawn, or you can shop us at dovesofdawn.com.